Financial literacy can be intimidating, but it doesn't have to be. In fact, anyone can do it, and it's a great way to start learning about your finances. Here are 10 steps you can take right now to get started on the road to financial independence. 1. Determine where your money should be spent. The best way to figure out what you should spend your money on is to decide what you want to do with it. Determine how much work is required. Determine how you will pay for it. Create a budget for the money that remains after all of that. 2. Figure out how much you need to save for retirement. Calculating your current income and expenses is the best place to start when determining how much you need to save for retirement. Then, include any Social Security benefits, as well as any other non-taxable sources of income, such as pensions or investment income from stocks or bonds. If this figure is less than what you want to retire on, your next step should be to increase your savings rate so that at least some of the difference can be covered by additional contributions made throughout the year rather than just once a year during tax season. If this does not appear to be possible given your current financial situation, consider changing jobs or careers, or even moving into a higher tax bracket. You can also try another method, which is to use your current income, savings, and investments to determine how long you have until you reach retirement age. If you work a 40-hour week, you'll need to save at least 65% of your pre-retirement income by the age of 65. It's only 20% if you work a 20-hour week. 3. Take control of your debt. Have you ever wondered how you could get a handle on your debt? You're probably wondering how you're going to pay it off and what it will take. But don't worry, we're here to assist you in determining the best way to eliminate your debt. The first step is to determine the type of debt you have and the amount owed to each creditor. Then it's time to consider the various repayment options available to you. If you have a credit card with a higher interest rate than the amount owed on that card, consider using one of those high-interest cards to make up the difference while paying down other debts. However, if you don't use any credit cards, there may be alternatives to paying off high-interest debt cards that will help you eventually get out of debt. To stay out of debt, it's a good idea to learn how to manage your finances. If you're having trouble getting a handle on your debt, you can consider the following suggestions. 1. Recognize what you owe and why you owe it. 2. Determine how much debt you can afford to pay off each month and stick to it. 3. Make no more payments than your budget allows. Once you've paid off all of your debt, don't begin making additional payments on top of that amount. This will just increase your interest rate. 4. If a balance transfer credit card or other loan makes sense for your situation, use it, otherwise, don't use one at all. 4. Keep a budget and save for the future. One of the most important things you can do to build a strong financial future is to keep track of your spending. It's easy to get caught up in the excitement of life, but it's equally important to keep track of how much money you're spending so you can make better decisions about where to invest and how much money you have coming in. Tracking your spending is also an excellent way to avoid overspending. When you track your spending, you can catch yourself when you're doing something that's costing you more than it should, such as buying something on impulse or purchasing something at a store or restaurant that isn't actually worth the price tag. This will help you avoid making purchases that could lead to financial problems in the future. 5. Invest in yourself to stay employed and advance. It's one thing to invest in your career and education, but what about you? You may not realize it, but investing in yourself is an essential part of moving forward. It can help you gain confidence and be as prepared as possible for the challenges that lie ahead. If you want to advance in life, you must first take care of yourself so that when the time comes for promotions or new opportunities, you are prepared to take them. Also, investing in yourself is one of the best things you can do to keep your job and advance in your career. Here are some ideas for self-investment. 1. Make sure you give yourself adequate time to learn something new. It is critical that you do not simply cram a lot of information into your head, but rather approach it slowly, taking it in piece by piece as you go. 2. Remember to stretch outside of your comfort zone. Come across something new and interesting, try doing it in a different way than you're used to, and don't be afraid to fail. 3. Always pay attention. There is so much information available that it can be difficult to know where to begin or how much time is required to fully comprehend something, but if you keep listening, it will come faster and easier. 6. Understand what you can afford to buy with your income, and which ones aren't. When you're strapped for cash, it can be difficult to know what your money can and cannot buy. But there are some things worth purchasing and others that aren't. Understand what you can afford to buy with your income and which ones aren't. You have a job, so you can spend your money on whatever you want and still have money left over for other things. If you decide that you really want a new television, go ahead and buy it. However, if you are unsure whether it is beneficial to your finances, consider the following questions. 1. Will I unquestionably use this item? If not, try to save money for something else. 2. Will this item keep me occupied? If so, go ahead and purchase it. If not, consider waiting until your next paycheck or, better yet, saving up for a larger purchase. 3. Is there anything negative or downside about this item? Perhaps it takes up space but does not function well in my home or office? Then consider waiting until your next paycheck or saving. 7. Understand how debt management affects your finances and plan for it. Debt management is similar to general financial management. Whether you're paying off credit card debt or putting money aside for an emergency, understanding the impact of each decision on your financial life will help you make better decisions in the future. You may exclaim, "Oi!" Debt management can be a difficult task, but it is also an important part of being financially responsible. If you've never had to deal with debt before, you may be wondering what it's like and how to manage it. Here are some of the most important things to remember when it comes to debt management. If you pay more than the minimum on your credit cards, it will take longer to pay off any outstanding balances. If you have a balance, it means that a portion of your monthly payment is going toward interest charges rather than principal payments. If you have high interest rates on your credit cards and other debts, it can be difficult to save because the interest rates can eat away at any extra money you have. A high interest rate can also cause issues if there are other debts to pay off first, such as mortgages or student loans, before focusing on other expenses such as rent or insurance premiums. 8. Make a plan for emergencies and save for them, even if they are unexpected. You're in big trouble if you can't think of a way out of a situation. Even if it isn't an emergency, having a plan for what to do if something goes wrong is critical. You don't want to be scrambling around at the last minute, trying to figure out what to do to save money or stay safe. It's critical to have this kind of information on hand because an emergency can strike at any time. When something happens that requires you to change course or make adjustments in order to get back on track financially, it's critical that you have a plan in place to keep everything running smoothly and your finances secure. 9. Make a budget that works for you and stick to it, or try to every month. If you want to manage your money, you must understand where it is going and why. This entails developing a budget that meets your requirements. A budget is simply a plan for how much money you want to spend on average each month. It does not have to be perfect, but it must be realistic and achievable. The trick is to figure out what works best for you. The best way to accomplish this is to use a simple spreadsheet template. You can configure the template to ask questions about your income and expenses and then use that information to calculate how much money you'll need each month to live comfortably without getting into serious financial trouble, like paying off debt or saving for retirement. Once you've established a budget, stick to it as much as possible. If you can do it every month, that's fantastic, but even if you can't, give it your all. 10. Begin investing in the stock market for the long term. Investing in the stock market is an excellent way to increase the value of your money over time. It's also simple to understand and implement, so you can get started right away. This is an excellent time to begin investing in stocks. You can get started with as little as 500 rupees and invest for free. All you need is a brokerage account to purchase low-cost mutual funds and individual stock options. You'll also be able to profit by selling some of your shares at a higher price. If you want to make more money, you can buy more shares or take more risks by investing in riskier stocks. It's critical to find the right broker for your needs and then double-check everything to ensure your money is safe and secure. So start investing as soon as you're ready. So that's all for this video. We'll see you in the next one, and if you want to watch more videos like this, please like this video and subscribe to our YouTube channel. It will be very helpful to us.